Welcome to J Sports, everybody. I know we are doing another post game show late. Oscar's gonna cry and complain. That's all. That's all these Washington Commanders fans do. If they just cry, that's all they do. They just cry. Anyway, uh, I'm doing this post game show about the Dallas Cowboys because they need to be talked about, and not in a good way either. Okay, so if you're a Cowboys fan and you do not like what I'm about to say, welcome to the channel. Hey, we criticize when it's needed and we give credit when it's needed. We're going to give a bit of credit today. But last weekend, the Cowboys collapsed against the Jags. The Jacksonville Jaguars. Noah Brown's drop in overtime becomes a pick six after a really good throw by Dak. So, okay, let's start this. Make sure you like, comment, share, and subscribe to the channel. Press that post notification bell so you never miss another one of these videos. Yeah. And make sure you support us on PayPal, so we can keep doing this and getting our statistics ready and basically all of that, producing this show. I would really appreciate a sub. We would really appreciate it because we can grow. And also a thumbs up. Give this video a like so that we can grow in the algorithm too. Get the algorithm to recognize us. Anyway, let's talk about this absolute shitty garbage performance of a game for the Cowboys, like the plays. The Cowboys lose 40-34 in overtime, or 35, whatever. The ground game and the defense was all garbage. They averaged 3.8 yards per carry. Per play. They kept running the ball too much for some reason, and it wasn't working. And with that, they should have thrown it more. And again, they blow a 14-point lead. Remember when they did that against the Packers, 15-5, whatever. That drop that by Noah Brown that became a pick six, it was off of Noah Brown's hands. Off of his hands. Off of the hands of Noah Brown. There's no way around it. And for anyone saying, oh, well, maybe it was Dak. Oh, maybe it was off of his receiver. It was off of Brown, who's a bad target. Now, the play was great by Prescott, honestly. It doesn't make sense. I think it was unintentional, but it doesn't make sense why it became a pick six. Dak Prescott threw it really well, but it was off of Brown's hands. The defense had a terrible performance last Sunday. Okay, there were some takeaways. But they didn't put enough pressure on the quarterback or the Jags O-line at all. Kelvin Joseph got benched, which was really, really bad. Nashawn Wright came on, but he got a concussion. Now on to the injuries. Real quick, LVE was set to have a neck injury, but luckily it turned out to just be a shoulder issue, which, look, still a bad problem, but it's good enough to where he won't miss the season. So I think he's okay. Now, when Leighton Vander Esch leaves the game, the Jags averaged 7.1 yards per carry. That's it. This defense, look, they had a terrible performance. Like I said, there was no effort. It was unacceptable for this defense that has all these sacks and quarterback hits and hurries and stops and takeaways and all of that. And they can't do anything. Dorrance Armstrong I'll back to the injuries. Dorrance Armstrong and Donovan Wilson, they left the game and came back. Nashawn Wright left on the last defensive play. So hopefully he's okay. Now, let's play the blame game. Who is to blame for this loss? I think the biggest blame goes to the defense. Let me tell you why. You had 2 turnovers, right? But the defense didn't make any stops. Not even enough stops, but any stops at all. The defense was shit. Completely garbage. Absolutely terrible. You want to know how bad it was? Trevor Lawrence threw for 318 and 7.6 yards per play. Travis Etienne, he runs the ball for, let's see, 103 yards on 19 carries. Zay Jones kicks their asses. They kick your asses, Cowboys. He kicked your asses. He had 6 catches, 100 for a 109, and 3 scores. Now, look, Joseph wasn't bad. I think he was good, and we're going to get to another player that was good at the end. But the defense, that best defense in the league, or number 2 defense, played like absolute garbage. I know I keep repeating myself, but this best defense is not, for the last few games, is not playing like the best defense. Look, your offense had scored 34 points in regulation time. They should have won that game. They should have effing won that game. They need to win that game every single time. You know, the and yeah, you had that drop from Noah Brown. You had that one I'll get to the interception by Dak. But the defense gets the biggest majority of all the blame. They had 1 sack, 4 quarterback hurries, and okay, for some turnovers, but the pass rushing wasn't there. It was absolutely awful. God, man. The defense to me gets the biggest blame. Comment down below and let me know what you think. Now let's get to the coaching, because Dan Quinn gets the blame for that defensive for the defensive plays, that defensive performance. Lots of blame goes to the play calls as well. They ran the ball, listen to this, 41 times in this game in total. They only had 3.8 yards per carry. The running backs, Ezekiel Elliott and Tony Pollard, averaged less than 4 yards per carry. That's not good at all. They kept running the ball. And then it wasn't working, so they just kept going and running the ball, not throwing it. You run it 41 times, it's not working. You gotta do something else. After about 15, 20 times, you should go, hey, we should do something else. That passing offense, okay, is why the Cowboys were still in it. There's no other way to say it. Okay, fine. Blame that INT on Dak Prescott. Fine, he did throw it. But if you think that's the reason they lost, that's not the reason. That's not the reason the Cowboys lost. If you think so, you didn't watch the game I watched or that anyone else watched. That ground game was absolute shit. And they didn't make any stops at all, like I had said. You had one big run by Tony Pollard. That's it. And then you kept asking the quarterback to say, hey, to bail us out. To bail them out. Hey, can you bail us out, Doc? They asked the quarterback to bail them out on 3rd down plays. 3rd down plays. And when he did do that on a 3rd down play, guess what? The receiver, Noah Brown, dropped the fucking ball. And he makes it a pick 6. Dak made one mistake all game. All right? Yeah, but he was your best on offense. He averaged 8.5 yards per throw, completed 77% of his passes. That's a lot better than even Lawrence did. And he had more accuracy, but his team, his offense didn't help him. And this offense needs to do better, a lot better, against better and more playoff caliber teams. Like, I don't know, the Eagles, the Titans, and look, even the Commanders, they choke a game against the Giants, but you can still see that shitty team coming and beating the Cowboys. As bad as they're playing right now, that defense, oh my God. Oh, and by the way, 20 of the 41 times that the ball was ran came from the quarterback. He was the most effective runner for them in this game, the most effective at running the ball. But you can't run the ball that much if it's not working. You can't expect to make the quarterback run the ball. You can't expect that. When you got players that can do it, you got wide receivers that can do it. You got running backs that can do it. Yet no one does. Now, Noah Brown also wasn't good. Speaking of coaching, right? Calling for a vertical shot and then making Noah Brown the target. Yeah, he had 6.9 with 2 scores, 6.9 yards per carry with 2 scores. But that drop, okay? That drop was awful. Okay? Now, he did have that those two drop that lost the game. That lost the Cowboys the game. Now, this is 2 losses since the quarterback returned, came back into the game. And in both times, the team let a 14-point lead go. Okay? They blew 14-point leads. Both times, or 5, whatever, 15. Both times, a loss came in overtime. How does that make sense? Someone needs to tell me how that makes sense. Because that was awful. You guys need to do a lot better. Now, Hendershot made a good shot, so I'm happy with I'm happy with Hendershot. I personally like Ferguson. I'd rather Hendershot, honestly, at tight end. But let's talk. So he did good. The O-line though didn't do well at protecting Dak. Lawrence had more time in the pocket than Dak did. Why? Because his O-line protected him. The O-line needs to be better because we don't want it to be like last year. We don't want it to be where the pass rushing is affecting the offense and then the defense can't make any stops. No turnovers. We're not getting turnovers or sacks or quarterback hits or stops or anything. This team is not a playoff caliber team. Yeah, they made 2 playoff berths and playoff times and appearances since the year of 06, 07. But that doesn't matter. This team is absolutely terrible. Every year this happens. It's time to get rid of Mike McCarthy. It's time to get rid of Kellen Moore. Kellen Moore's just getting too predictable. The play calls were absolutely stupid. Your defense was absolute garbage. Your quarterback was your best player. And I don't mind placing blame on Dak. I wish I could, but guess what? It wasn't him. It was the goddamn receivers. It was the O-line. It was your defense. It was everybody. Except for like Hendershot, Dak, and maybe Pollard, maybe Joseph, and maybe Parks. I don't know. But we'll see how it goes against the Eagles, how bad the Cowboys lose. Let me know what you think in the comments. Make sure you like, comment, share, and subscribe to the channel. Press that post notification bell. And make sure you support us on PayPal. And we will see you guys next time. Peace.